Hello, everybody. How are you today? My name is Sarah Lynn Kate. I'm just double checking to make sure that I am actually live and not just talking to myself. um, I am back from all the things, guys, from vacation to COVID. I still have a little bit of congestion. You could probably hear it in my throat or in my voice, but oh my goodness, I am feeling so much better, which is great because I'm really, really excited about today's training. Today, we are going to change it up quite a bit. Normally, myself or Cassie, we come on here and we just give you value. And I hope you guys enjoy it as much as we do. But we decided, hey, let's try something new. What about going ahead and giving or doing Facebook audits? I don't really necessarily like the word audit because I feel like sometimes that can be really, really scary. But basically, the intention is to go through some of your profiles and give you suggestions based off of what we know. Now, before I dive into it, I just want you to know what I share with you is a suggestion. Whether you take it and use it or not, like if you do take it and use it, it is not going to be a sure thing that it's going to be the thing that works for you. Um, but however, this is after years of knowledge and implementation of things that I have seen that have worked and been super effective for myself, not just for myself, but many others and many people that I and Cassie have worked with. And so the what you guys will get to kind of see today is um just that, kind of the different ideas. Now, a lot of you were super interested in this. As I mentioned in my post, I don't know you guys saw the comments because there was a lot of people who volunteered, and I'm not going to start the timer yet. But I promised that I was going to dedicate only 30 minutes to this. And I know that I will not be able to get through each one of your profiles. It's just going to be impossible. I have a feeling I might be able to get through 3 to 4, depending on how much to provide. But this was definitely a first come, first serve sort of deal. So just know that that's kind of where it's coming from. Um, we will be offering this again. Don't know when, don't have a specific date in mind just yet. So keep plugged in. So that way you can catch in because this is just going to be a first come first serve. The sort of thing that I'm going to be doing is a part of our package where we do client intake calls, and those alone cost $250 on its own. Um, and so this is a bulk of it, and I'm not going to be going into as deep of a detail as I would for a client intake call, but you'll just kind of get privy to what it is that we share with each one of you, and you'll be able to take it and apply it yourself, whether we go over your profile or not. So you guys kind of get a little bit of an insight of what it is that we do with each one of our students. So super, super excited. By the way, guys, I am live on StreamYard. I'm thinking it's pretty much says that I'm technically Cassie Billingsley. I'm not. I'm Sarah Lynn Kate. I'm using Cassie's got the StreamYard account. It's underneath her name, so that's why you see it comes up underneath her. But just so you know, if you do not give StreamYard permission to show your name, that's what it's going to come up as. Facebook user. So I have no idea who you are. So you got to go ahead and give StreamYard permission. Sometimes it's a pain in the butt and it won't let you. So try it again for those of you who, like you'll see Cassie, the actual Cassie Billingsley, like, hey, her name and picture comes up. So that's what it looks like when you give StreamYard permission. So go ahead and do that. It's above my head in the description to give them. If it doesn't work for you, then go ahead, type out what it is that you have, and just put a dash and put your name there. That way I'm not calling you a Facebook user. It just feels too weird to do that. So, all right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And then I'm going to go ahead. Uh-oh, testing. It didn't work. Bummer. Oh, I don't understand why it's like that with StreamYard sometimes. So I guess you're gonna have to do a dash and then your name. So, all right, let me go ahead and share my screen. and then we will get started. I'm super pumped, and I'll stop the timer from there, okay? Can you guys see my screen? Let me know. I'm gonna try to get out of this piece here. I don't know if I can. We just will have to kind of deal with it. It's fine. I'm going to be actually clicking on over from this post over to the things. Okay, Cassie, awesome. I'm glad you can see it. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead. Danny, you were like on top of that bad boy. I don't know if you're live here. That's okay. I said that was not something that you needed to do. Was be live, but we will still go through it no matter what. So I'm going to go ahead and click on your profile. This does it because I'm coming through the group. So we're going to just kind of click on over. Okay. So you guys can all see that pretty clearly. I don't know. Do I need to make it bigger? Does that make a difference? I guess it does a bit. Okay. So I can make it a little bit bigger and StreamYard a little bit smaller. So it can work in both of our favor. Okay, cool. We got this. Sweet. All right. So Danny, very cool. I'm also going to pull you up on my phone because guys, where does the majority of your audience see and view your profile from? Where where does your majority of audience find you? It's going to be through your phone. So it's important to also do this through your phone or through my phone as well. So that way yeah, I can give you the best of my well, there we go. The best of my oh, Heather. No, yep. Thank you for putting that name out. I don't know why it's not working. It's such a bummer. So, all right. So, Danny, I've got you up on my phone as well. So I am just currently I'm gonna be giving, you know, my opinions and my thoughts back and forth from here. So with your banner, there's so many different, I'm gonna go right through it. And just guys know with the opinions that I give you, don't remember that it's coming from the heart. I want to see you win. Okay. So anything that I share with you, I'm not trying to be a bully. I'm not trying to pick on you. Know that I am here to help you see you win, especially if you feel like you're stuck. Okay. So the very first thing that I'm seeing, when people come land on your bio or on your profile, is this very first beginning. They see your bio, they see your picture, they see your banner photo before they even scroll down. All right, this is where you're going to make your first impact, your first impression. So make it a good one. Danny, you do a fabulous job with your picture. It's clear. You are standing out in it. I highly recommend pictures just like this, where it looks friendly. It's not a picture of your dog. It's not a picture with a filter on it. It's not a picture with your grandma. It's not a picture with your spouse. It's not a picture of your kid. Guys, one of the things in social selling, by the way, I'm starting the timer now. So we're going to go for 30 minutes starting right now. But one of the things when it comes to pictures is that it has to be clear and of you. You're building up that know, like, and trust factor. If the picture is not clear and of you, you need to change it. No ifs and or buts. I don't even recommend having photos of you and your spouse because sometimes it gets confusing. I don't recommend having pictures of you and your kid. I don't recommend having pictures of you and your friends because your first impression, it gets confusing. If you confuse and muddle up your audience brain, they might swipe on over and just forget about you. So you want to stand out. And Danny, you did a fabulous job with this picture with the color background. It makes you stand out. People are going to notice it, especially when these tiny little bubbles that people will see in other areas of the platform. Your banner photo. There's different schools of thought with your banner photo. It's just a matter of testing and evaluating. You went with a simple approach that's kind of mine as well, where it's just a quote. So just try to be better than you were yesterday. No big deal. One thing that I like about the simple approach is that it's going to encourage people to scroll down to get to know more of you. Now, you could also take the other school of thought, and I think Cassie she has a beautiful banner that really does display more of who she is. So there's multiple pictures in it. There's so many different templates you could use in Canva. And you can go ahead and just share more about your life, what it is that you do, what it is that you create. And that's just another route that you can take. Those are generally the two routes that I recommend. I don't recommend having pictures of a picture of your family and their heads are cut off. So you really want to be cognitive of, especially on the phone. I don't know if you could, how well you can see that, but with Danny, you're able to read the quote and see his picture. So it's like right at the perfect level. Now I do have to say, Danny, one thing about your photo on the side is that it looks like it's kind of scowling at me. So I don't know. That's just me. Maybe you can bring your head over a little bit more. Um, that's just one thing where I'm like, oh, it looks like you're judging me a little bit just from this particular angle. And that's what is so interesting about looking at your phone versus just from the banner here in Facebook itself. Like you see more of his photo here. I don't feel as judged. Whereas here, I feel like he's judging me a little bit. And it's hard. I know, like the images are small, especially if you're looking at this through your phone. But that's something to be aware, Danny, that you may want to consider of changing. So now let's just scroll down. So the next thing that we see, our eyes will fall, is obviously your name. You're clear at it. It states who you are. Perfect. Don't go all crazy here, like some people will. But you're just to the point on who you are. Um, Now you've got your bio. It's stating what it is that you do. It's your intro. So, a health and wellness coach on a mission to help moms and dads feel fit, healthier, and happier. Cool. No big deal. There's two schools of thoughts there as well, where you can share exactly what it is that you do, like this. Will be a little bit direct, or you could also put in a little bit more of a friendlier, not friendlier, not that's not what I mean, but where you share a little bit more of your personal lifestyle too. So maybe if you're into traveling, you could do that too. But it also depends on who your target audience is. Um, like maybe you want to just only connect with moms and dads who are looking to feel fit and live a healthier lifestyle. And that's it. Or maybe you want to take, maybe you're connecting with them in groups where they're not necessarily looking for somebody just yet to help them feel fit, but they're looking for a friend. So putting a little bit more about your personal personality inside of that might help too. So it's just like I said, suggestions. Now, when we scroll down, and this is why I like the phone, maybe next time what we'll do, Cassie, is share from the phone versus on here. But I think that that's going to be a Zoom thing. I don't know. We'll have to look in that. Anyways, sorry. So as we scroll down, now on the phone, this is what I see when I scroll down. It is just a bunch of like about me intro stuff. Okay. My recommendation is to condense this down to only 3 lines. Why? Because you want people to scroll down and immediately see your content to start digesting that, taking that in, versus just reading all of these things. Now, these things that you have here, I would leave like your Instagram. I would leave that. If you have a Facebook group, that's fine. But this, I don't know what this Facebook group's about, so I probably would not even click on it. Um, but these things studied at your college, studied TCAT, lives in Telford, hide that stuff. People will use that to find you because you don't have to take it off. You just hide it. You don't have to show it on your profile. But that will shorten down the list. And with your Facebook group, if you're able to put in like the instead of those numbers, go change the group's URL to what it is about so people know, oh, this is his fitness group if that's what it is. So now for these things, the fitness, traveling, all of these things, you can have them. You thankfully don't have a ton. Sometimes it will be like a whole long list of like 20 to 30 different things. So you can leave that. Just remember, we want people to get done to your content as fast as possible. All right. Does that make sense? Remember, this is the psychology. Your audience who is when they come on, Facebook, they're looking to unwind, especially if they just had a long day at work, they had a long day with their kids, and they're just struggling in general. And if you have a lot of different elements that muddy up the brain, they're not like it's too much. So make it super, super easier on them. It seems so small, but it makes a difference in the long run to your audience who's already exhausted. Okay. So, Heather, I'm dying for you to do mine. Oh, you crack me up, girl. So, okay. So now you know, like, there's just some other things. These things here, you could have them. You don't have to. It's just honestly, people don't really look at them. So, I think that's them trying to mimic Instagram with their highlights. So that's my opinion. Try to get them down to your content as fast as possible. Now, on the phone, as I scroll down, I'm not going to look at this part here because on the phone, this is what I'm seeing. Okay. Actually, on the phone, I don't see these photos just first. It's actually friends. Now, guys, this is a big one. All right. With your friends, hide your friends. Do your friends a favor and hide your friends. Don't let other people get access, such easy access to them. Okay. You can have it where it sets up as mutual friends because that will at least like let them be like, oh, okay, we have mutual contacts. Who is this guy that's going to drive with that curiosity? It's social proof. But I have such easy access to Danny's friends right now, and nobody to go do this, please. But I could easily go through here and send out friend requests to each one of these friends. Do your friends a favor, hide your friends. Okay. It's just a setting. Google if you need to. It's super simple to do, but hide your friends. Okay. Um, it's also when I'm on the phone, it's just another thing that I have to scroll through before I finally get to your posts. Okay. So, just take out as much as you can at the beginning on the phone view as possible. Um, that way it's not overwhelming to your audience, okay? Now I'm going to scroll back up to go through some of your posts, okay? And I'm going to give you just a couple more minutes, okay, Danny? Since you're the first one up, you get a lot more of the information as we move forward. But now some things with the pinned post. Um, I actually went through this, Danny, because you were the first one that popped up. I'm like, all right, cool. And so I went through this a little bit yesterday. Um, like this sounded I read through some of this story, and it sounds like it was definitely more of your story as to what it was that got you into your life, your lifestyle and what it is that you're currently doing. And correct me if I'm wrong. I apologize. I did not read the whole thing, but I say that not because I'm being rude, but I'm saying that because it was overwhelming for me to read. This is something when it comes to copywriting, and maybe we'll do a training on this another time. But copywriting is really, really tricky, guys. And you got to keep in mind of your audience and what your audience is going through. Danny, you're targeting moms and dads who are trying to feel healthier. What is going on in their life that's leading them to not being healthy? They're moms and dads. They have kids. They're probably working. They're overwhelmed. They're exhausted. It's why they're eating poorly and not working out and taking care of their bodies. They might not have the time or the brain capacity to go through this big post. It's a lot. So, with copywriting, just a few quick little tips, and maybe this has been working for you. I recommend trying something new since this has been since February. Try rewriting this and see what happens, but keep it short. In your content, you only want to use short little anecdotes to share your story. And what an anecdote is where it's streamlined. It's just little glimpses. It's not where you're taking all these left and right turns before you could finally deliver what it is. Of course, as human beings, we have these complex stories, but to read it all at once is really, really overwhelming to your audience. Especially now more than ever, we live in a day and age where our attention span is only 3 seconds long. Thank you, TikTok and social media, for that. So, with your content, you want to have a snappy hook, something that's going to draw them in, and then keep your story streamlined. Yes, you want to make it personal, you want to keep it emotional, something that they feel connected to, but don't have a bunch of twists and turns that leads you up to your final destination. I usually recommend 10, 15 paragraphs at most. And a paragraph, guys, should only be a sentence or two, as like said, one between 1 and 3 sentences max. And you did a fabulous job at that. Actually, you've created a lot of nice white space in this content. To me, it's just a little bit longer, especially for the very first thing for me to get to know you. I would shorten it down quite a bit. That's my personal recommendation. I'd say test it out as a regular post, Danny, and if you get quite a bit of engagement from it, swap it out. That's my recommendation, because I do see, yes, you did get a lot of engagement here, but I don't know how soon and how sudden it was or where it came from. So just letting you know. Um, it's worth testing. Okay. Now, I did scroll through some of your other posts, and this is what surprised me. You almost have 5,000 friends, and your engagement, bro, I feel like, I'm sorry to see this. Like, it seems like you've definitely been struggling, and this is probably why you're here and why you asked to have it evaluated. I mean, just this post alone, you unfortunately didn't get any sort of comments or likes or hearts or anything like that. So I have a couple of suggestions. Um, One that came to my mind is that you may need to go through your friends list and delete. um, Delete those that are not your ideal prospects. And I gotta say, guys, is that not everyone is your prospect. Okay. So you want to go through who are the people that you would like to work with. And I guarantee it's not going to be everybody in your friends list. And those who are not active or engaging or that you haven't talked to in a long time, delete. Start new, get more targeted friends. That way you get more engagement on your content. So that's something that you might have to do. My recommendation is just go through the birthdays rather than going through your entire list all at once, because that's a lot. It's a lot. When I did it, I actually went through the ABCs, and that's when I was just kind of clearing up. I'm like, oh, this person hasn't been on Facebook in over a year. Delete. Like, it's no harm, no foul, but like, this is a tool, not a toy. Your Facebook profile is a tool, not a toy. And if your prospects or your friends are not a part or in alignment with that tool to help you build a business and make an impact, then you got to clean up shop. That's just how it goes. So that's my first recommendation. My other recommendation when it comes to your profile and the post that you share is don't share these kind of pictures, guys. If you've got a question like this, use Facebook color blocks. It's just where you create a post and then you select the background. Facebook will push that out more than an image like this. And here's the thing, like, yes, Danny, I see your name, you stand out with that. But people, like, I don't know, Facebook one will post that far more out, but then also you're going to want to only share pictures of yourself that you're in. So my recommendation is definitely, I would test this question out another time, but in a color block post instead, and see what happens. I wouldn't do it right away. I mean, maybe you can. Maybe your reach is super low and nobody saw it, and might as well as try it again in a day or two. But it's definitely worth. And just ask this question. Hey, curious, what do an island and a letter, or what island and the letter T have in common? Or, oh, okay, I get it. Just ask that question in a color block and see what sort of response rate you would get. Um, and even here, my friend, like, you've got still, it's still low engagement. And one thing I did notice is that you kind of came back. So you might need to do some things where you're a little bit intentional first of commenting and engaging on other people's content first, like 10 minutes before you make your own post. But you got to do something to boost that algorithm. There's definitely something that's working against you. And I see you working hard. You want to make this work for yourself. So I highly, highly recommend just spend 10 minutes beforehand engaging on other people's profile first, and then making your post, and see what that does. It just will spark up your algorithm over time. More and more people are going to be like, wow, he's giving me engagement. They're going to be connecting more with you. But when you engage on other people's profile, don't just leave an emoji or like, heck yeah, like, leave a thoughtful thing where they're going to respond back to you. When they respond back to you, not just like or heart, but they actually give a comment back to your comment, that's where the algorithm's gonna be like, hey, okay, this person wants to, like, see each other. We're going to show more of your content and vice versa in each other's feed. So it's working with the algorithm and working smarter and not harder. So Danny, whenever you watch this, I highly recommend these different things. And those of you who are watching this, let me know if you take these and implement this, and tell me what happens over the course of 30, 60, 90 days, and see what happens. Super curious. Track your numbers now. Track your engagement. What's like the average amount of engagement that you get, and see what happens in 30, 60, 90 days. So, all right, I'm going to leave that as with Danny. Let me know your thoughts when you watch this, my friend, or if you're on. Super, super curious to hear your thoughts on that and what happens. So as I pull up the next one, we got a question here. I didn't even have a pin post. Do you think that's something we all should do? Should it be an about post? That's a really, really good question. I have to be honest, I don't have a pin post just yet. And that's because I made a lot of changes in my brand in general. I know Cassie's got a pin post right now, and it is leading into the group. So unless if it's changed, I'm pretty sure that's the case. Heather, thank you. As I scroll down, I saw that it was you. As I get back to my post for those who commented. Um, so it could be honestly about a product. It could be about, maybe your life story, at least like an anecdote. It could be something that leads into a group, like what Cassie has. It could also be maybe you have your own testimonial and it did really, really, really well. And you want to continue to just milk that post a little bit more. So you put that in the pinned. Maybe it's an announcement and you've got a lot of followers that are really, really engaged and you want them to see that announcement. So you put that announcement in the pin post, but you don't have to use it. It just can be helpful. Think about like, what is it that you want somebody brand new that you've never talked to before and they're stalking your page? What is it that you want them to first see? Okay. So that's kind of like, you got to get into that mentality because if we're friends, I'm not always going to be stalking your profile unless if something shocks me, then I will. But if we're friends, I'm going to just kind of keep an eye on my newsfeed to see, hey, what's new? What's going on with you? So that's kind of where that's coming from. So, all right. Let's see. Oh, this got tricky because we got some people who commented underneath me versus it being first come. I want to say it was Sarah. You were second. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead. Sarah Walters, pull you on up. Oh, come on. Yes, I would like to go to your profile. All right. There you go. I love it. Yeah, and here's the thing, like Heather, you know, you gotta remind yourself who is it that's gonna first see it. Um, like what is it that you're trying to do? It's your first impression. Sometimes, and this is where you got to test and evaluate. And that's why, like, it's really, really tricky. Like, you got to keep track of these numbers to see what's more effective for you. Your first impression says a lot. If your banner is only about products, people might think that, oh, she's just here to sell me something. And maybe that's where you're connecting with people in groups where you are trying to sell them something and they pick up on that right away. Or maybe you're trying to build the relationship first before you try to sell them something. And so it really comes down to a lot of various factors and where you get your audience. So my content that in my reels, that's how I get a new audience is all about information on network marketing. And so when they come on my profile, they know that that's who I'm about. I am a network marketer teaching and helping others become a network marketer. So that's what they should expect to see on my profile. So it's okay for me to have that earlier on in my profile. Now, if I'm going into groups first, like mom and dad groups, Jeep groups, I don't even have a Jeep. I don't even know why I said that. And I'm trying to build up friendships first with people who may not be in network marketing to begin with, then I'm going to put more about that where it's more personal first. So it really comes down to where are you finding your audience, your new people, because we always, always, always need new people. If you're not bringing in new people, your business is going to stall out and potentially crumble or die. So we don't want that to happen. So, all right, next up, Sarah. So let's see. I might be able to get through. We started at 11:10. Oh, that one went really long. This is the problem. There's a lot of information to share. um, let's see. I may be able to get through a bunch or two more. We'll see on how fast we get through. So Sarah, we see kind of a similar situation. I've got her pulled up on my phone as well. So we've got Sarah's world. Here's the thing, Sarah. This is really interesting. I see on the phone where it says at the very tippy top, where it's very tiny, it says, please follow. I don't know if that was intentional. Um, I don't see it up on here unless if I were to click on it, but a lot of people don't unless if you have an instruction to click on it. So just letting you know. Um, Also Sarah's World. I mean, it's cute. I would maybe put in like a quote or something. But it's simple enough where I'm just going to scroll on down, which is kind of what we're doing is that we want people to scroll on down. You've got a very friendly smile. You got a great picture. It's cute. It's adorable. You're friendly. Um, and same thing with your name. It's clear and to the point. Your bio. Ha 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 ha. This is so dang interesting. You have your profile in professional mode. And you guys wouldn't even know that if you weren't looking at your phone. This is why I do this. Okay. When I, gosh, I wish I had like dual screen. I got to figure this out with TechWise for these things. When I scroll down, look at that. There is no bio. No bio. This is the dang professional mode. I've been offered it. I haven't taken it because that makes me mad for other reasons. So, but here you can see the intro, the bio. It shares a little bit about her. I don't see any of that in the first impression on my phone. So, Sarah, what you might need to do in your banner is put some of this stuff in your intro and put that in your banner so people can kind of get to know a little bit more about what you're about with that first impression before they scroll down. Because on your phone, it is not there. That's how professional mode is. It kind of sucks. It is what it is though. So you want to scroll down and we'll scroll down here. Um and I see on your phone, this is interesting this is where it's so different. With her details on the phone, is very simplified. There's nothing there. Like it's just two lines. Whereas on the computer, it's a bunch of different lines. So on the phone, not a problem. Here, not a problem either because honestly, your content's pretty far or up in the first fold. Um, of Facebook pretty much, or at least the second fold where I'm able to see your content right away. So overall, great job on the first impression, girlfriend. I wouldn't worry too much about that. Um, and then you have your friends hidden. Not on your lap or not on your computer though. It is on your phone. It's professional mode. This is why you got to look at both sides. So, girlfriend, hide your friends. Hide your friends. Do them all a favor and hide your friends. Ain't nobody needs to be seeing that. You can have just as mutual, but definitely hide that up so nobody comes in here and tries to like friend request. I don't think it's as big of a deal as it used to be, but just hide your friends. People don't need to see that. Um, and then if you wanted to hide this information too, but the majority of your traffic's going to come through their phone anyways. So let's talk a little bit about your content. Girl, you've got some great engagement. This was from yesterday. We got 20 likes and hearts and 19 comments, which is fabulous. The picture of you're smiling. Um, this is great. I mean, excellent. You've got, and that's kind of right in line with, your friend count. We're kind of scrolling down to see. Sometimes Mondays are a little bit trickier. It also depends on the style or the type of content. But let's see. So you've got 5 things here in one comment. Now this looks like it's to be an entrant or this content seems to be a little bit more of like an educational post. Usually educational posts are always going to be a little bit lower than other post styles. Um, so did you know there's little to no regulations on what companies can put in their products? Now, just from a copywriting perspective, I would recommend putting something a little bit more personal on your hook. To me, when I read that, like I feel immediately like I'm reading an article versus this is supposed to be social. So I would say I had no idea, but maybe you did. Make it personal with an I statement with those hooks and those attention getters and see what happens instead. And you could even share a little bit personal of like, why did you remove toxins from your life? Why did you start your own personal journey? People love to be nosy. So the more personal you make it versus it just being super, intellectual, you might get a little bit more engagement on that. Okay. So just a thought. Happy Saturday. So you got a great engagement post on there. I love that you did engagement first before the educational one. That helps a lot with boosting the algorithm, absolutely, when it comes to one that is more of that information. So way to leverage that out. Um, Overall, girlfriend, what I'm seeing is pretty good. Your content strategy and your copywriting might be something that you might want to adjust a little bit. There is one thing right here. This goes for anything, guys. Do not share a link, another post, a memory in your content because it will destroy your algorithm. Absolutely annihilate it. So if you've got a community that you want in here, um, and I would even caution you from saying link in my bio. If you've got a community, you can tag it actually. So when I promote this group, I tag it so people can automatically click on it and go and enter and join the group. Um, so that is something that you could potentially do instead, or get people to say like me, like make it super easy with your call to action. Be like, hey, if you want an invite, drop me below. I did it yesterday with you guys. Like, when I was sharing about these Facebook audits, I'm like, hey, drop me. Me is easy, or drop your favorite emoji. Drop, heck yeah. Make it super easy, and the less complex it is for them to go ahead and do what it is with your call to action, and you might get a little bit more interest in what it is that you want them to do. So that's another little option and thought process with that. But I see your engagement overall is doing very well. Hey, you even got a share. That's awesome. Um, Watch out for pictures where you're sharing like this. Sometimes that can break the algorithm a little bit. This one not so bad. But it's always something to just be cautious about. I would share this more in my stories, and I would share this in a written post instead, or in a written post instead. But if you like the image, share that in your stories instead. Stories, you can go crazy. That's just kind of how it goes. Um, so that's that. I'm going to kind of cut this one a little bit shorter. Let me know if that was helpful. I'm going to cut this out in about 4 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and go to another profile first. Come on, we still have just a hair bit of time. Oh, I went too far. Too far again. We're coming. Sorry. But yeah, let me know, guys, if this is whether you're catching the replay or if you're watching live, let me know if that is helpful to you. Come on. All right, there we go. We are here. No, it's taking forever to pull up. Sorry, gang. I will at least give one more review. Like I said, it was a first come, first serve. And for those of you who do not get it, Nikki Morris, you were up right there. I'm going to go ahead and click on you. Um, if you guys did not get your Facebook audited or reviewed, just know there will be more in the future. Okay, so Nikki Morris, this is what I see on the laptop from the computer perspective. I want you to see like your banner. I can't even scroll up. Everything's cut off. So my recommendation is like adjust the sizing and bring that down. But let's take a look at you on on the phone as well. So, oh hey, oops, I think I sent the wrong. Where are you, girlfriend? All right, we're gonna have to find you through the group. It didn't want to come up as like when I just searched your name. It was a different name, different Nikki Morris. There you are. Okay. No, not message. There we go. All right. So, funny enough, this is why we look at both. All right. It comes up where it's actually you can see things, you can tell. Now, if I were you, I would you could play around with this for those who do view things on the laptop. But like I said, majority of your audience will come through their phone. So you've got in your bio, we're loyalty, strength, freedom, top leader launching a new company. Beautiful. I know what company this is. You've got the logo. It's cute. It's kind of sharing what it is that you're doing. Just keep in mind, where is your audience? Where are they coming in from? So that way, are they coming in from groups like mom and dad groups where they immediately see, oh, she's a network marketer? Or are they coming in like where you are, like helping and working with other people who are looking for a new company to launch with? So, got to keep in mind of your audience and where they're coming in from. In your bio, you've got perfectly me, loving tropical paradise, living for freedom. It's just kind of there. You've got some other stuff above, like what it is that you're doing above. So it all works. Your picture's adorable, cute smile, clean, well lit, well done. Um, On the phone, you hide your friends, which is great. You've got it's quick and to the point for me to scroll down. So you did a fabulous job there. You cleaned it up. That's exactly what you got to do. And see, you hit your friends. Your friends appreciate it. um, so we've got here some content. Your last post was nothing better than homegrown. You've got some engagement in one post. I mean, it's there. Let's see what happens next. So all right, so you're talking, the post before that, where it is definitely more of a direct post to get into your company. Um, so and you've got some engagement. Now I'm curious, is your engagement from your team? Or is this also engagement from audience or from your prospects? So keep an eye on that. This might be particular, this attention grabber might not had hooked them in enough. So there's definitely some things that you've got to, kind of keep that in mind. Like I love, while I get my ducks in the line over here in Australia, I have the most incredible opportunity for you. Are you from Australia? I'm guessing so. I'm just after reading that. I love Australia. So, kind of, I mean, this is just, with this sort of hook, it screams that you're trying to sell me something. It screams it. You want to be a little bit more native. So, just to kind of um, keep that in mind when it comes to that. Okay. So, that's one thing with that particular post. Got a lot of likes and hearts, dark clouds. So I mean, yeah, it's cute. You are definitely from Australia. Try to get more engagement over likes and comments. Facebook's always going to prioritize your post when there's comments, shares, engagement. That's where it's going to prioritize and share more of that content more than anything versus just leaving it out, where you're only getting likes and hearts. So, you know, share a little bit more about that. You can put this in a story that might be a little bit better for it. You could ask questions, just something to get people to say something. That's something that I would encourage you to do, is get them to engage back with you. Um, you've got here currently trying to hydrate, strategize, meal plan, get shit plan for the week ahead, and here for the level ups. So here you some great engagement yet again in 4 comments. Once again, then goes for everybody. Is this a people from your team, or is this a people that your prospects? And if it's only just your team, you might want to do a couple things. And this is going to be the final tip that I leave with you guys today because we're out of time. But if you are only getting engagement from your team, you want to mute your team. So just snooze them for 30 days. Because yet again, this is a tool and not a toy. Okay. A tool and not a toy. I love this. So, can you add this at the end? When it comes to your social media, have your team comment on your post to boost. Could hurt you in the long run, as they will be the ones that see and not your prospects and commenting on your team. Haha. Yes, great minds think alike. Thank you, Cassie. It's true. It can do more harm than good. So you really want to be cognitive and aware of how often your team is posting on your stuff and how often you are posting and commenting on their stuff, because that turns into a screwed up algorithm. Facebook's going to show, oh, hey, these people like each other a lot. So you're only going to see their content a lot. So go ahead and snooze the people for 30 days that are in your company and in your team, and focus only on engaging and commenting and connecting on people who are not on your team, but people that you would love to work with. Okay. So that is something to kind of keep in mind. And then test the different kind of content that the people that you would love to work with, not who are already in your content or your company and in your team. Then test different hooks and attention grabbers and ways to get them to engage. Um, so that way they, will drive that up a little bit more. Um, one other thing, Nikki, I'm just saying, so you did kind of like a curiosity thing about, let's see, here for the level ups. More excited about what's to come. Okay, so it wasn't necessarily about your company. It was definitely about driving up excitement. Just caution how often you post a direct post or something that's going to be drawing intrigue about your company. Share more of you and your personality, and your lifestyle too. Um, not only about your product. So This one got a great response here. I'm saying I had a friend suggest to me yesterday that it would help my brand and business if I dressed up more. I love it. So see this right here. That's a great hook, and it would totally catch my attention because you were being real, and it totally worked in your favor, girlfriend. So it sounds like you did a good job in that one at least with your engagement. So that's what's going to draw and capture more attention than anything. So and keep that in your back of your mind. This is what people like to see, like what they like to read, they feel related to. Um, versus trying to draw attention to the different countries. So, but overall, Nikki, you did great. There are things here, yes. I mean, and like I said, all of these are going to just be suggestions, but test and evaluate, see what happens. You never know what's gonna, how it might improve. So now, guys, what I just shared with you is definitely more. I don't know the best way to put it is like we go into a much more in depth. Cassie and I were talking a lot about it yesterday, where we're going more and more in depth with these sort of things in our client intake calls and whatnot. What you guys got was a taste. If you got value out of today, let me know. Let us know, please. And I know a lot of people had wanted it. I'm sorry I was only able to get through 3. We will do more of these, but we will not go in as depth. Um, or as deep as we would in our client intake calls, which, by the way, I just want to put this out there. This week, we are launching our mentorship program, our Level Up mentorship program, and a client intake call is just a part of it. We have where there's a mastermind community. We meet once a week, where we can run through your content, answer any sort of questions, help develop a plan and a path for you to move forward. We have Voxer hours where you have a burning question, we're there to answer it. The mastermind, like I said, where anytime that you want to share what you're working on and get some help and build up connections, like we have that available. And guys, this is something that is brand new, so therefore the price is going to be really stupid reasonable compared to other mentor programs I have coached and mentored in other programs. The prices that they have available is out of this world compared to what it is that we are offering. And we believe then we do not believe in the one size fits all approach. So we created different options to help you. If you can't do one, then we created something else in hopes that you can at least do the other to get that attention that you're looking for to help level up your business. If that is something that you are interested in, go ahead and drop level up below. And myself or Cassie will go ahead and reach out to you. We are launching it. And guys, once this program, is moving fluidly, our prices are going to go up. So you guys get privy to a lot of access. You get a lot of free stuff that's a part of it because we are testing and evaluating this program as well. So you guys get to be a pioneer. Therefore, you get the pioneer price. So if you are interested in learning more about it and see if it's the right fit for you, go ahead, drop level up, and we'll go ahead and connect with you one-on-one and see if it is the right fit for you. Other than that, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's training. We will do more of these. Looking forward to it as well. And we'll talk soon. Bye.